Senator Hall, thank you for being here with me today. Now, you filed Senate Bill 82, which relates to what businesses can do if a gun is on their premises. Walk me through what inspired the bill to be filed by you.
Primarily because of my interest in the right to self-defense. Businesses that that have the 30-06 sign deprive the folks coming into that business of their right to self-defense. And I understand that a business should have the right to say what goes on within their property, but they are jeopardizing the safety of those folks who have a concealed carry license and are legally carrying it. And then they're the ones who are there when violence breaks out and they're able to intervene or to protect themselves. But by not allowing them to carry the gun in their facility, they're forcing them to either leave it at home or leave it in their car. And that exposes them for a time period to a threat that they have every right to be able to defend themselves. And so, much like other responsibilities of businesses when they do things like put in stairs or put in elevators or whatever they do, and someone gets hurt using those stairs, they have a responsibility for it. And so it just fits in with what we normally, if a business wants to do something, it has to accept the responsibility. And it'll go back to the basic fundamental of rights and responsibilities. Those are two concepts that go together. It's like a coin. One side is rights, the other side's responsibility. You don't get a right to do something without accepting the responsibilities that go with it. And in this case, if they're going to exercise their right to force a law-abiding citizen with a license to not be able to defend themselves, then they have to accept the responsibility for what might happen to them because they're exercising that right. So it's a simple protecting individual rights.
So just to make sure, just to clarify, so what specifically would this bill change?
What it says is that if they're going to have a 30-06 sign up and someone gets injured as a result of not being able to defend themselves when they visited either in the store, they could be in the store or between their home and the store. If as a result of not being able to carry their own self-defense, they are injured, then the business owner is responsible for that injury.
For some of our audience who may be unaware, what is a 30-06 sign?
That's a sign that says you can't carry a gun on my premises. It creates a gun-free zone. It is a law that was passed that allows businesses to turn their business into a gun-free zone. And we know that criminals look for gun-free zones because they know there's going to be anybody in there that can defend themselves. And it's like hanging a neon sign up. It's the same problem we have with our schools. Big sign, the schools that have the sign out front that says this is a drug-free, gun-free zone and violators will be reported, prosecuted. Well, it's the same thing with the 30-06 sign. That's the sign that allows them to say you can't come in here and to legally turn people away.
But if a business does allow individuals to concealed carry and they get injured, then there is no liability.
No, it does not apply. No,
does not.
No, the business owner does not extend any responsibility to them that's not ordinarily there.
Now, there may be some concern that this may bring more guns into culture, which some people say, causes a lot of death. What would you say to those concerns?
That's the same wild, crazy claim that has been made ever since the issue of people being allowed to defend themselves has been brought up. If you go back to each one of the bills, the argument was, oh, that's going to lead to a gunfight on every street corner. It's going to be like downtown's going to be like OK Corral. Here we go. Every argument's going to be settled with a gun. all we have seen is people able to defend themselves, because those that are interested in carrying a weapon legally are doing it not so they can hurt somebody, but so they can protect themselves and others.
Do you feel as though there should be some business exceptions if they sell certain items, that there should be exceptions to this, or not at all?
I don't see any reason for an exception. I can't imagine what somebody would be selling that you wouldn't want to be able to defend yourself while you're there.
And let's say this does pass, what impact do you feel it would have overall on Texans?
Oh, it'd make it a safer place to be. It would make Texas safer for everyone.
And walk me through, this bill was recently filed. What do the next steps look like?
Well, we got to have a committee hearing here in the Senate, and we get through the committee, then we'll go to the floor with the Senate. Then it would go over to the House, and they would go through the same process.
And what have you heard? Have you talked to any businesses in particular about this bill? Have they told you whether they support, do not support the legislation?
No, you get, opposition to this is going to come. The business has it up there. They're going to make up. It's just like school choice. People make up stuff that are irrational arguments, and there are no rational arguments against allowing people to defend themselves if they can legally carry a gun.
Do you feel there's no reason for concern whatsoever?
None, zero. I would, if I thought this was a threat in any way to society, I wouldn't be filing it. I think that society is being threatened with a higher risk of being harmed when they're not able to defend themselves. And this is a bill that will allow them to defend themselves when under current law they cannot.
All right, Senator Hall, we've covered quite a bit over this interview. Is there anything else you'd like for our audience to know about Senate Bill 82?
Just that this is a bill that will bring greater safety to the people of Texas.
Senator Hall, we appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. Appreciate talking with you. Take care.